All right, ladies and gentlemen, the last game of the evening. It's going to be the Mid-Atlantic Warriors and the Clutch Baseball Club facing off in the penultimate match of the Mid-Atlantic FrightFight tournament for the 13U division. We're going to get it started off with Brody Allison. Brody Allison getting it started here for the Warriors versus the Southpaw for the pink and black with the Clutch Baseball Club. That's going to be a first pitch swing and miss strike to get us underway. Outside, 1-1. Brody Allison at the dish here at a multi-hit performance in the semifinal game. That was the second game of the afternoon. Zach Butcher and Ethan Alexander, the second and three spot hitters for the Warriors, as there's a shot out to left. Coming in and making the basket catch. That'll be the first out. Lucas Rivera, Isaac Torres, and Jaziel Aponte, the first three for the Clutch Baseball Club. Swing and a miss by Butcher. I know, it says he didn't go around. Sorry, 1-0. That one's a strike, 1-1. Here from Lock Ave Park in the Mullica Hill area, right down 295. Here's a 1-1. There's another one, 1-2. Of course, the last game that we had ended a little bit controversially with the Clutch Baseball Club. They won 8-7. And the game balls, actually, the reason why we're actually starting a couple minutes late is because there were no game balls. Let's look at that to right field. He almost stepped on home plate. He's going to be safe at first, and that's going to be a base hit for the Warriors and for Zach Butcher to get them on the hit column this evening. So runner on first, one away here for Ethan Alexander. He started the last game these guys played, but now is the starting shortstop from the 3 spot in the order. Strike one on the outside corner. But no, the game balls were actually stolen. And not naming names, but the word on the street was that the folks of the losing team. Here's a catch in center field. Throw back to first, not going to be in time, and he's going to hang on to that one. 2 away. But it was actually, because the game balls were there when the umpires left at the end of the game, but when everything was said and done, the game balls were gone. That somebody picked them up, and they left town with some free baseballs. And I've said time and time again, those are not cheap. If you go to Dick's Sporting Goods and you get, a clean, I should say, unused baseball, it's $8. We're going to have a courtesy runner for Butcher. Big swing and a miss by Younger. It's going to be 0-1. Austin Younger here for the Warriors. Had an 8-4 win over Titus Baseball out of Wilmington, Delaware earlier today. That's going to make it 0-2. He's been chasing that fastball a little bit outside. It's been in the strike zone, but his bat just hasn't been catching up to it. Austin Younger Loves hitting home runs, loves asking questions. Dislikes McDonald's, as that one's outside. Going to be 1-2. Runner's going to skirt on down to second base. Yeah, I think McDonald's is more of a childhood thing. Its taste hasn't really caught up with me over the years. But they try to be healthy from time to time. They have like the grilled chicken wraps and the filet-o fish, which I would never try in a million years. But Younger is going to chase another one, and that's going to retire the side. Warriors leave a runner on second, and after a half inning, it's no score here from the Lock Ave. Bottom of the first inning, it's going to be Lucas Rivera leading it off, the second baseman here for Clutch Baseball. You're watching coverage of the Mid-Atlantic FrightFight tournament here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If you have any questions or comments about today's broadcast, drop me a line at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. Just a bit inside, 1-0. First three for the Clutch Baseball Club will be Lucas Rivera, Isaac Torres, and Jaziel Aponte, to be followed by Courtney Holland. Right down Broadway, there's a strike. Don't forget, folks, we are going to have our next broadcast on Wednesday with Audubon Green Wave High School Soccer as they kick off the playoffs with the first round of play. Not sure who they're going to play yet. I don't know if the brackets are out yet, but that'll be Wednesday, October the 25th. And then high school football playoffs start on the 26th of October on Thursday, and then 27th on Friday. That one misses high and tight. 3-1 actually went over Rivera's helmet, but he's a little bit smaller stature, so he can be a lot nimbler with those. And that's upstairs, a 5-pitch walk to Rivera, and that's how we get the bottom of the first started here, as Torres is going to look to move him over. Mid-Atlantic didn't get too far in the top half of the first. Had a line drive to left off of Allison, a single by Drew Busha, a line out to center, and Austin Younger struck out to retire the side. Torres takes it just a bit upstairs, 1-0. Just a little high and outside. That's great transparency right there, telling them exactly why that was called a ball instead of just telling them, no, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. That's great transparency there, and you love to see it, especially after the events of what happened in the last game where a couple people were on the verge of getting thrown out, including a coach and some parents. You love to see that, even keel mentality where everybody's on the same page and, you're just playing baseball out there. There's really no sense of pretentiousness. It's going to be 3-1. With Jaziel Aponte on deck for the Clutch Baseball Club. Zach Bucha, the starter for the Warriors this evening as he delivers. Gets jammed, popped up in the shallow right field. That's going to drop for a base hit, and it's going to get shoved towards the foul line. So that'll be a single to shallow right for Torres, and that puts 2 runners on with nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Warriors going to have to get out of the jam here with Jaziel Aponte, the number 3 hitter for Clutch Baseball. Breaking ball smacked into center field. That's going to be a base hit. It's going to drop on a hop. They're going to try to get the force at second, and they got him. Close call there, but that's going to split the runners and put them on the corners with 1 away on what will officially be scored as an 8-6 fielder's choice. You don't see that every day. That's going to set up the cleanup man, Courtney Holland. Took a first pitch curveball, and sometimes when it curves right back into the zone, something you regret, and it just landed on a hop. So, yes, that will be scored as an 8-6 fielder's choice. And there's the first pitch by Holland, ripped into left center field. That's going to drop. It's going to split into center. Rivera will score. Torres is coming around. The throw is going to barely beat him, but he's in there. He gets under the tag, and it's going to be a 2-run double on the first pitch for Courtney Holland, and it's 2-0 Clutch Baseball. So a 1-out double ripping off the first pitch, and Clutch Baseball is most certainly looking like probably one of the best teams in this tournament that we've seen on FrightFight. And Holland will go down to second base after that 1-out double ripping the first pitch. Upstairs to Dunalis. Here's the delivery. Up and in. Two 2-0 early lead for Clutch Baseball here in the bottom of the first. Misses outside. It'll be a 3-0 quick count. That's going to be a 4-pitch walk, and that puts 2 on for Dunalis. And now here is Biggs. He takes a strike. Runner goes. Both runners go. Throw down to third is just barely going to beat him, but he gets in there. And both runners move up. Tried to frame it. Wisniewski didn't get it. 2-1. 2 on, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the first. Clutch baseball. Getting it rolling early. Turning up the Jets. It's 2-0. 2-1 pitch. That's a good frame job right there. That's going to make it 2-2. But yeah, one of the things that we heard earlier was that the frame brought him down. And that's something that people don't remember a lot of the time when it comes to how balls and strikes are called, is that if you're a shorter batter, or even if you're a taller batter that has a shorter stance, as in, maybe you're crouching more, maybe your stature is a little lower in where you stand, that's going to affect where balls and strikes are called, because it's all proportional depending on, whether it's, oh, wow, that one is ripped foul. That one's headed to the soccer field. That one might go all the way back to Swedesboro. It's going to be 3-2. Man, Isaac Biggs got a big one. Jason Biggs. Outside. That's going to load the bases. So, Josiah Biggs with the walk. Ooh, that one sails inside to Nate Collazo, who is the starting pitcher this afternoon, as now Brandon Bellotti is going to go talk to his man with the bases loaded and 1 out here in the bottom of the first. This broadcast is brought to you by the Garden State Pet Center, the place to be for all things pet-related, including the healthiest product choices available for your pet. Exotic pets like small animals and reptiles are also available as well. Toys, cages, accessories, and more are sold 7 days a week in person on the 200 block of Whitehorse Pike in Audubon. Visit today online anytime at exoticpetsnj.com. Bases loaded, big spot here for the starter Nate Collazo to help out his own cause, with Clutch Baseball up by 2 in the bottom of the first. You're watching coverage of the FrightFight tournament here in the Mid-Atlantic Lock Ave Park, as that one misses high and away, 2-0. And also, for those that are watching, make sure to send it to your friends and family who can't make the game this evening or don't want to take the drive down, wherever they may come from. Share it on your social media pages and tell them to subscribe to Dan Wilkins Broadcasting for more South Jersey sports all around the clock. There's going to be a strike. Collazo thought it was a ball, but it was not, and that's going to make it 3-1. Pitch. That one is smoked to center field. This one's going back. It's going to be caught in center, and everyone's going to hold, so nobody scores, and there's 2 down. So here's Le'Veon Hubbard, as that one misses upstairs. Nice slider, just missed low. It skips away, but Courtney Holland's going to hold. He's going to avoid the temptation, if you will. And he stays right there. It's going to be 2-0. That one is going to get spiked in the dirt, and it's going to be 3-0. Big spot here, though, for Hubbard towards the bottom of the order. You know, they want to get some more runs in. They want to pad that lead a little bit going into the second because they know Mid-Atlantic has a good offense as well, in addition to having a good defense. That's going to be a 4-pitch walk to drive in the run. Appeal to first says he did not go. That's going to move everybody down. So runners everywhere. First pitch, ball. So bases loaded walk. That one's going to miss, 2-0. Well, I'll tell you that much. I mean, it's not going to gain you any favorability points if you're... It's not even the umpire's fault. He's doing a great job. Just some people are just way out of their heads. Going to be 3-0. 3-0 lead for Clutch Baseball here in the bottom of the first. Already starting to walk in some runs. With Lorenzo Dunalis at the dish. There's one, 3-1. And that's going to skip in. Again, it'll bring home that run, and it's going to make it 4-0 in the bottom of the first. And I think we're going to have a quick change here. Getting started early. And Mid-Atlantic is going to have to go into the reserves in just the first couple of batters of this one. So they're going to make a switch, and we'll take a quick break. 4-0 in favor of the Clutch Baseball Club here in the bottom of the first. We'll be right back. Tommy D's Home Design Center has opened a second location on Creek Road in Belmar, operating in Philadelphia for over 25 years and now expanding into South Jersey. Tommy D's is the place to go for kitchen cabinets, countertops, and cabinet accessories, heavily discounted compared to big box retailers. Stop in, take a seat, and watch as our experienced kitchen designer makes the kitchen of your dreams right in front of you. Tommy D's is the best in the business for quality kitchen countertops and cabinets that fit all budgets. Call us today at 856-210-9504 or visit the new location in person on the corner of Creek Road and Harding Avenue in Belmar next to the 42 on-ramp. Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
DJK Roofing is an American-owned company that cares about our customers. We answer the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and offer financing options to keep cash in your pocket. Even in our busiest times, estimates happen within 24 hours if needed. Most jobs can be completed in 1 day. Our measurement techniques ensure accuracy.
Two away and already a pitching change here in the bottom of the first. Austin Younger coming in for the Mid-Atlantic Warriors. In the dirt, 1-0. Two away, bases loaded. Oh, that one is going to drill him, and that brings home a run. It's going to be 5-0. So Julian Martinez, they're going to bring it back to the top of the order for Lucas Rivera, starting shortstop here for the Clutch Baseball Club. They've batted around. It's a 5-run first, and already in the midst of a pitching change, Austin Younger trying to give the team a break, trying to get them back on the offensive side of the ball before it's too late. There's a strike, 0-1. This broadcast is brought to you by DJK Roofing, South Jersey's #1 roofing supplier with over 200 5-star reviews on the web. Get a free quote today at 856-778-3900. That skips in. It hits off of the catcher's mask. He doesn't know where it is. Throw to the plate's not going to be in time. And that will be another run scored, making it 6-0 here in the bottom of the first. But as we've said, Mid-Atlantic, they are a very good offensive team as well. So even though the defensive woes have bitten them pretty bad so far, not something to really, keep your head down on, because they're going to get right back into it in a second, in my opinion. There's a strike, 2-1. Excuse me, 1-2. One-two pitch. That one skips away, goes through the umpire's legs, goes through the catcher's legs. He doesn't know where it is, and another run will score. That's the second one he's lost, and that's going to make it 7-0. So a touchdown in the first inning, if you will, and Lucas Rivera has gotten 2 runs scored for his team without even having to swing the bat. So it's going to be 2-2. You're in the bottom of the first, still working here. Back to the top of the order for a second time. That one's just missed inside, 3-2. But if Mid-Atlantic's going to get back into the game, going to need some breaks in the middle innings. Line foul. That one sails behind him, and that's going to get a run home. So Rivera walks for the second time this inning. We're actually approaching the half-hour mark on the broadcast, and we're still in the first inning. Remember, these games do have 2-hour time limits. And now Isaac Torres is going to bat. He singled to right after getting jammed in the first inning. First pitch, that one misses inside. Mid-Atlantic just trying to get all their stuff together. But remember, Clutch Baseball, they are playing their second game of a doubleheader. They've played 3 games today, and this is their second one in a row. They had about a half-hour break from the semifinal game versus the South Jersey Young Guns going into this one. There's a line drive into center field. He's going to be 2 for 2. That's going to sail past the center fielder. Scoring is Hubbard, and that will make it 9-0. So everybody moves up. And this is going to bring up Aponte. Oh, now the runner's going down to second base, and he's going to get in there. Unbelievable. Younger to Aponte. That's going to be a line shot out to left field. That's going to be a base hit. Rivera scores, and that makes it an even 10-0 ball game. It's going to put runners on the corners. Time is called. Now with a 2-run single by Aponte, Courtney Holland had a 2-run double in the first. He's going to pop this one up on the first pitch. Back behind the plate and out of play. That one goes behind the press box. 0-1. Courtney Holland lined one in the left center field gap on the first pitch of his at-bat, so maybe he was trying to swing first pitch again, see if it could work. That one skips in the dirt. That moves the runner up to second. So 2 runners in scoring position on a 1-1 count. But for the folks counting at home, that is the, 3, 6, 9, 10, 12. Yeah, this is the 13th batter of the first inning. That one sails inside, 2-1. Yeah, I'm very excited for Clutch, though, because they are getting an incredible head start. Even if they lose some runs in the middle innings, this is an incredible cushion that you're going to build off of. Here's a ground ball to third, and that's finally going to end the inning. 13 batters, 10 runs come in to score, and that's going to make it a 10-0 ball game at the end of the first. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back as Mid-Atlantic looks to salvage some runs here in the second. One inning down, and Clutch Baseball looking to hang on to their 10-0 lead that they amassed here in the first inning. An excellent start that they've had so far, but they should not get ahead of themselves because, you know, in this industry, in baseball, it's never over till the last out. We see that with the Phillies every single day. I'll tell you that much. Here's the first pitch from Collazo. That one is popped up in that kind of dead spot in the infield. That's going to drop, and it's going to be a base hit, an infield single for Sherman. Collazo tried to go for it, but just a little bit of miscommunication gives Sherman a base hit. There's the strike. Swing and a miss by Bellotti. Vincenzo Bellotti down on an 0-2 count with a runner on first and nobody out here in the top of the second from Lock Ave Park. Runner goes, but he gets out to first. Throw down to second is going to sail in the left field. Sherman's going to hold at second, and they're going to move him up. They tried to throw behind the runner, but a lot of times that doesn't work. And he's going to get down to second base. Swing and a miss. Chased it outside. One away. Still have that runner in scoring position, though, so they have something to build off of. Now for Hunter Cass. First pitch. And that one hits him. So that fills the occupancy at first. And that will bring up the catcher, Carter Wisniewski. Seems like after getting hit by a pitch, kind of got a little bit shaken up there, but he's okay. First pitch to Wisniewski. Swing and a miss outside. That one's outside. 1-1. What away, 2 runners on. As Clutch Baseball trying to hang on to that cushion that they have. Poke foul, 1-2. Look out. Outside, 2-2. He'll step off. Wisniewski looking to load the bases at least if he can get on. That one is hit well out to right center field. That is going to drop. There's a collision in right center field. Nobody was talking. Here comes the runner around third, charging in hard. The throw to the plate is going to be short. Sherman scores. They're going to throw down to third, and they got him there. So it will be an RBI single. Shockingly, that was just a single for Wisniewski. He called his shot earlier today, and it's going to be 10-1 as they get on the board here in the top of the second. So Bellatti's going to run it first. This brings up Utah Watson. Loves the fish, is what we're told. Also a bit of an exercise enthusiast. Loves to do burpees and push-ups, from what we were told by Brandon Bellatti. This was a great thing about what Damon Sirianni does with his youth tournaments. He actually has all of the coaches of each team send us a list of each player and their likes and dislikes, where they go to school, so that we can have a proper broadcast and have some talking points about, you know, who does what, who likes what. I know there was somebody who enjoys the Dodgers and USC, and I had like a 2-minute rant about college football and how USC lost to Utah last night and they're not going to make the playoffs. That's going to miss inside, and it's going to be 3-0 to Watson. With a runner on first and 2 away after that runner got thrown out at third. Mid-Atlantic gets on the board, and it's going to be 10-1. 3-0, strike called. You know you're going to get at least one, so he's going to get the green light, you know, and just try to go for it. 3-1 pitch. That one's going to miss outside, and it'll be ball 4. So that moves Bellatti, the pinch runner, or the courtesy runner for the catcher, Wisniewski, down to second base. And Watson walks to bring up Dugan. Ben Dugan, the nickname Big Ben. Outside, 1-0. Time called, and now Collazo is going to get a conversation with his catcher in. 2 runners on and a 1-0 count. 2 down. Here in the top of the second inning, a 10-1 game in favor of Clutch Baseball NJ. You're watching the championship game of the Mid-Atlantic FrightFight 13U tournament. Misses just a tad upstairs, 2-0. Three and 0. That's going to be a 4-pitch walk, and that's going to load the bases to give Mid-Atlantic some life here in the second. As now Paul Pachuta III and Braden Green on deck for the Warriors. That one's going to miss outside. Paul Pachuta, big fan of steak, says that's his favorite food. Also big bike riding enthusiast. The comment on his profile says mostly in heavy traffic, which, considering where these guys are from, a lot of these guys come from around the South Jersey area, kind of in my pocket of the state, Camden County, Gloucester County, around that area. Not too far away from each other, and considering that New Jersey is the most densely populated state, you can't really get too far away from that heavy traffic, like Route 130, the White and Black Horse Pikes. Always makes for interesting travels around Christmas time, which we're closer to now more than ever. There's going to be a strike, 3-1. But back in 2021, before I got my permit, I rode 450 miles in 1 year. I bought a bike in October of 2020. It was a $600 thing. It was a Fuji branded bike. That's going to be ball 4, and that's going to walk in a run, make it 10-2. So Bellotti will come around, and Collazo issues another walk to bring up Braden Green, and now Clutch Baseball's head coach is going to go out and talk to his man. After 3 straight walks and 5 straight men reaching base, Koss had a hit by pitch, an RBI single by Carter Wisniewski, and then 3 straight walks to Watson, Dugan, and Pachuta, as Braden Green is going to round out the order in the 13 spot with Brody Allison on deck for the Warriors. This broadcast is brought to you by Tommy D's Home Improvement Center, the place to be for wholesale cabinets and kitchen countertops at heavily discounted rates compared to big box retailers. Visit today in person at their brand new second in-person location on the corner of Creek Road and Harding Avenue, 612 Creek Road, next to the 42 on-ramp. Big thanks to Alex Winkler and Brad Benedetto for having us on board. Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Clutch Baseball leads by 8 runs, but the first pitch is going to miss outside. Mid-Atlantic's clawing their way back, though. As we were saying, these guys, they played just a couple of minutes ago. Clutch Baseball barely even got a 30-minute break before the game. So a lot of these guys are in different positions. Some of them might be a little bit tired, considering that game as well, the one that preceded it, was a little bit contentious. An 8-7 game kind of dragged on for two hours or so. Didn't really make anybody comfortable. Did he go around? Yes, he did. It's going to be 1-2. Collazo needs 1 more to get out of the jam, but all Green needs was to get one over the infield, and drives home a couple more runs. And one's poked out towards first. Is that going to stay fair? It hugs the line, and he tags the bag, and the side is retired. Mid-Atlantic gets 2 on the board, but leaves the bases loaded. Yeah, they were debating whether that was a fair ball, but from what our cameras saw, it was right on top of the line when it was taken in. So that's going to retire the side after 1.5, 10-2 in favor of Clutch Baseball. Mid-Atlantic Warriors, they were able to claw back just a little bit in the top of the second, but they left the bases loaded while scoring 2 runs. It's going to be Lucas Dunalis to lead it off. Sorry, we got a lot of stuff falling down around here. This is a tough setup that we're working with, but we make it work. So excuse us while we move some things around, but this is certainly one of the more interesting press boxes. There's a whole bunch of beer cans up here. There's beer bottles, liquor bottles in the closet. There's really everything that shouldn't be in a Little League press box. That's going to be a line drive caught at short by Carpenter. So Younger with the first pitch. That one just missed. So for Josiah Biggs, that one is ripped deep to left field. Actually, no, that's going to be more shallow than I thought. It gets dropped out there. Biggs is going to second. He smoked that ball. It's going to be a double. He got it on a high launch angle. That's going to be a one out double, excuse me. Nate Collazo, first pitch outside. With that being said, I just heard something buzz in here that is not my phone, so that's creeping me out. I'm telling you, this place is haunted. There's dead bees on the wall. Like, we were here last night, covering the last two games. We were here for a 6 o'clock and an 8 o'clock game, and there's this bee that's right in front of me, and it's on the wall, and it hasn't moved since then. But when I went up to, like even put my finger close to it, it started to, like, kind of flap its wings a little bit. Now, I am not a bee expert. I am not a natural expert on animals by any means, or a bug expert, if you will. But, I thought it was dead, but then it started to flap its wings a little bit, and, like, it started to, like, pulsate, I guess. That's going to be a walk to Collazo that puts 2 runners on here, but it hasn't moved an inch. So I don't know if bees hibernate in the winter or if they are just hanging out for a very, very long time. But here is Hubbard. I may be entirely wrong on that, and I may sound like a complete idiot, but that one just missed. 1-0. So, no, bees do not hibernate in the way that mammals do, but the colony acts like a tiny furnace by pumping their flight muscles all winter long. So you won't see a lot of activity at the entrance of the hive in the winter, but we're not in the winter yet. We're still in the fall, and I saw plenty of bees flying around in and out of, I think they were carpentry bees, because this press box is made out of wood. That is going to skip right by Hubbard. It's going to be 2-0. Excuse me, 3-0. Runners on first and second. Collazo getting a lead. And that's going to skip in, ball 4. Bases loaded now as Hubbard walks for a second time. Le'Veon Hubbard. And Bellatti's going to come out, and I think even Austin Younger is getting the pull now before Lorenzo Dunalis. But talk about a interesting championship game. I mean, when we had a 10U baseball game at Berlin, we were covering the Berlin Knights for their championship in the Slugfest tournament earlier this month. It was a 3-1 game, and the game was over in an hour and 40 minutes. It was one of the quickest championship games that I've ever seen. A 6-inning game in 1 hour and 40 minutes. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. But this game is already at 55 minutes in, and we are in the bottom of the second inning. So they're using most of their time allotted for the game, because remember, there is a 2-hour time limit. But, man, even getting into the 56-minute mark now. I mean, it's crazy how long these games are and how long they drag with how many walks are in. You know, even in high school baseball, if you're starting to walk in runs, your team's not that great, but both of these teams are guilty of that. And, you know, that's what I think is partially wrong with travel baseball, is where a lot of these guys are so disconnected where, you know, the talent level is at great odds with who's playing each other. But both of these teams are good. Mid-Atlantic earned their spot here. Clutch Baseball earned their spot here. Question is, where are they going to stand at the end of it? It's going to be 0-2, though, to Lorenzo Dunalis. Here with the bases loaded and 1 out. Here in the bottom of the second inning. Clutch Baseball had a 10-run first inning, but they've gotten at least some runs across in a more scrupulous fashion. Now they're going to try to look to do it again. There's another foul ball ripped towards the grandstands. I think that one's headed out to Swedesboro, out to Mullica Hill. That's a sharp grounder right back to Younger. He's going to throw it to the plate. They get him there. Throw back to first. It's going to be in time for the double play. The 1-2-3 double play. You don't see that every day, but they get out of the jam, and Clutch Baseball leaves the bases loaded. They lead by 8, though, after 2. After 2, it's Clutch Baseball up by 8, as it's a 10-2 game here in the top of the third. Getting it started back at the top of the order for the Warriors with I keep wanting to say Bobby Allison, the former NASCAR driver from Alabama, part of the Alabama gang that is listed on the backstretch of Talladega Superspeedway. But that's the that's the subtle Southerner in me, even though I've never lived in the South, never lived outside of New Jersey. I'm just a fan of NASCAR. That's the funny part, funny enough. But that's going to be a 1-0 count to Brody Allison, who's going to line one on a simple hop out to short. Throw to first is going to be in time. I mean, one of the things that I'm noticing is that these guys don't seem like they're running it out 100%, and I don't know if I'm naive on that or if that's just the way it is. But the way these guys are playing, I think these guys are newer on the scene of the newer on the scene of the 60-90 fields, to where they're so used to playing on the 40-60 fields that are only 200 feet to center. Like this is my 6th game of the weekend and my last game of the weekend. But, from what we've seen, there hasn't been a single home run. Not a single home run in sight. So, you look at it from the perspective of, okay, maybe these guys are still getting that power in the bat. Because once these guys get to, like, freshman year of high school or something like that, maybe here and there you're going to see some home runs. But even in high school, home runs are pretty scarce unless you're in a really pitcher-friendly ballpark, or in a hitter-friendly ballpark. Like West Deptford is a really hitter-friendly ballpark in Jersey. Pittman won as well. Woodstown, deepest part of the park is 327 feet to center. It's like one of these. It's small in comparison to all the other fields in South Jersey, where Audubon is 375 in its deepest part. Cherry Hill West and Haddonfield are 400 and 404 respectively in their deepest sections of the ballpark, because that one's going to miss outside. And Bucha will get a walk. Here's Ethan Alexander. He lined out to center his first time. First pitch, high and away, 1-0. That one is hit well out to right center. Almost a collision out there, but again, no communication. And that caused trouble before for Clutch Baseball, and it almost caused another conundrum again. So here is Austin Younger. Younger got it off the end of the bat, and it's foul. 0-1. Two and 1 count to Younger. Outside. 3 and 1. Swing and a miss. 3 and 2. Younger can hit the ball well. He can get a really good ball in the gap. But when he makes contact, it's big. You just got to make contact first. 3-2. There's strike 3 right down the middle. And he's frustrated with himself there. That's going to retire the side. Going to the top of the 4th inning, that will be, going to the bottom of the 3rd inning, that will be 10-2 in favor of Clutch Baseball. All right, we're back. Sorry, folks. I realized that my scoreboard was incorrect, that it's still 10-2, but I had the bottom of the 3rd up for Mid-Atlantic. So they did not get anything done, and now Clutch Baseball is gonna get it started here after they left the bases loaded for Martinez. Now at the dish, Younger's first pitch, strike 1. 1-1. Two and 1. There's a strike called. To Julian Martinez. That is ball 4. 5-pitch walk. Sets it up back at the top of the order for Lucas Rivera, the starting shortstop, who is up for the 3rd time. He has walked both times that he's up at the plate, and he had 2 walks alone in the 1st inning, so he has yet to have recorded an at-bat, but 2 plate appearances, both pretty uneventful walks, so he is batting 1,000 when it comes to getting on base, but that one's going to miss low. Here comes the throw down. It's going to be on one hop, but it's going to be late. And that ball was low, so it's 1-0. Seems like Rivera tried to get a bunt down, try to move his man over, which I can't blame them for, because their offense, after having an explosive 1st inning, has kind of stalled out a little bit, because Austin Younger has now gotten into his rhythm, so that's going to be up and in. But again, Rivera can take advantage of his smaller stature to his advantage, where he's going to get more balls called than he gets strikes. So he can, on his own volition, wait for the right pitch. He's going to wait for what he's going to get done. He can wait for the right time to swing. You know, he kind of controls his own destiny. So there's going to be a strike. Or if he doesn't swing, you know, that's kind of his fault. 2-1. Now he shows bunt again, this time up and in. The Mid-Atlantic infield, I'll give them props. They are ready. They're ready to go. Just in case he actually does make contact, though. And he's shown bunt every single time. This time he does not. And there's a strike, 3-2. And again, that kind of trot down to first base, assuming that you got to walk, doesn't gain you any favorability points. So don't be surprised if it's anywhere close if he gets the call. Fouled straight back. Still 3-2. I mean, again, you know, I do enjoy when, you know, the folks in black and blue, when they call the game by the letter of the law, where, you know, and a lot of these umpires that I've seen recently, they do that, and they do it well. That's a fly ball out to left. Rivera's that's gonna drop for a base hit. So Rivera with a shallow fly ball to left puts the runners on first and second here with nobody out. So here's Isaac Torres. He's got 2 singles so far, 2 for 2. That one's a little tapper back to the mound. Younger with the throw to first. That's going to be in time. And that moves the runners over. I'm just curious to see where these guys are going to get before they pull the plug on the game, because we're 112 in. 6:56 p.m. here. I mean, we had an 8 o'clock game. We didn't get out of here until 10 p.m., didn't get home until 11, but that was last night. You know, now that the championship's here, sun is already set. It's about 7 o'clock. You know, these guys are ready to go home, and Clutch Baseball, CBNJ, they already put all the runs that they needed. In off the hands, that's going to be a base hit. Driving home will be Martinez, and he scores the first run for the Clutch Baseball Club since the first. It's going to be an RBI single. It's going to be 11-2. So Jaziel Aponte with the RBI single. Misses inside. That one's going to go right back to Younger because there's nobody covering second base. They're going to move him over. It's going to be 2-0. Three and 0. Unoccupied at first. They're going to look to occupy that very quickly, though. For Courtney Holland. Gets shorthanded, and that's going to be ball 4. So that does load the bases for the catcher, Dunalis. And Brandon Bellotti coming out to talk to Austin Younger, and I think this might solicit a pitching change here. So they'll take the baseball out of his hands. We'll see who they bring in. But we'll take a quick break. 11-2. CBNJ looking to keep that offense going here in the bottom of the third. Back live here in the bottom of the third. Vincenzo Bellotti coming in for the Warriors, as he's going to look to stop the bleeding for the visitors, as CBNJ leads 11-2 in the bottom of the third with the bases loaded. That one is hit well out towards shallow left center field. It's caught by the shortstop, Alexander, and that's going to be the second out. And that's a strike, with Josiah Biggs at the plate. A 1 to Biggs. Outside, and called as such. It's going to be 1-1. Nate Colazzo on deck for CBNJ if the inning were to continue. Takes that one upstairs. Three and one with bases loaded. The last thing you want to do is start walking in runs, especially when you're a new pitcher. You know, you come into a bases-loaded situation, you already got the first out, you want to shut it down. You don't really want to exacerbate the problem. That's going to be ball 4, and that is going to walk in a run. So Josiah Biggs has reached base 3 times in 3 innings, including a second inning double, as this brings up Nate Colazzo. He lined out to center his first time, but walked in his second appearance. That one misses. Two 2-0. Strike one. That one is hit well out towards the right field line. It's going to drop. 1 run scores. Here comes a second run, and Courtney Holland, he will score. That makes it 13-3, or excuse me, 14-3. Excuse me, 14-2, sorry. It added a run for the wrong team. A 4 spot for the for CBNJ. As Nate Colazzo with a 2-run single. That one's hit well out to short. That's going to skip into left field. Run scores. It's going to be 15-2. That puts 2 runners on, and it's a 13-run lead for Clutch Baseball. Talk about an anticlimactic championship game. You know, this is what the tournament has come down to, and, you know, it's the penultimate game. It's the most important game of the entire tournament, and we've got a 13-run game in the 3rd inning. You know, they got the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, if you will. They're not going to throw it down. No, they are going to throw it down to third. It'll be a late throw, but it keeps the runners on the corners. Time is going to be called. They got to adjust the bases. We've seen a couple times when these guys are sliding into second base, they have to pick up the base and adjust it, because I don't actually think it's rooted into the dirt. I don't think there's actually a stand. That one's going to get popped up. It's going to land past Bellotti, takes a weird hop in the dirt, and the scoop at first is going to be in time to retire the side. After 3, CBNJ leads by a plenty. It's 15-2. We're back live in the top of the 4th inning. CBNJ put on another fight, getting 5 runs on the board, and now we go to the top half of the 4th with a 15-2 lead over the Mid-Atlantic Warriors. First pitch outside, 1-0. To Sherman. Misses low. It'll be Sherman, Bellotti, and Cass. The first 3 due up for the Warriors in the top of the 4th. And even if this game moves a little bit quicker, you do have mercy rules in effect, depending on how many runs they score. That one's going to be outside. So I think the rule is that it ends after 4 if there's a 15-run lead, and then after 5 if it's a 10-run lead, which they're just 2 runs away from qualifying for that if they can make it 17-2. But Mid-Atlantic's going to try to fight back, and they're going to get it with a 4-pitch walk to Sherman. They're going to get something here. So here's Bellotti. He struck out his first time. Ball outside. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Oh, you're kidding me. So 1 away, and they almost got him at first. They almost got Sherman. Man. So here is Hunter Cass, to be followed by Carter Wisniewski, the catcher. First pitch from Collazo. That one's going to be outside. That's going to be a line drive in the right field. That's a base hit. Going to get knocked down. Sherman goes to second. And that's going to be a 1-out hit for Cass, bringing up Carter Wisniewski. Ooh, that one almost got... No, it did get Wisniewski. Well, that's going to load the bases then. I don't think they saw it at first, but they did under appeal. So now Watson's going to come up with the bases loaded. 1 out in the top of the 4th. Head coach for Clutch coming out here to talk to his man, Nate Collazo. In a 15-2 game, they've got a good cushion, but they're still going to talk things over to make sure that they get things right, because Mid-Atlantic has been charging, Clutch baseball. The fact that they have gotten 15 runs on the board after scoring 8 in the game prior, with less than a 30-minute break between the 2 games, is truly something masterful. With the same guys in the same lineup facing a completely different set of guys, the fact that they scored 10 runs in the first inning is incredible. But now Owen Watson is going to try to change the narrative here in a 13-run game. We've seen some wild games before, not to say that we're not going to see one tonight. We could very well see a wild game. These travel tournaments can always get, let's just say, a little crazy. They get out of hand. The games get out of hand. And then we saw last week with the Aston Valley team sporting a 7-run comeback in the last inning to win their game. I believe it was 11-10. They were down 10-3 to the South Philly Pirates in the bottom of the 6th inning, which was the last inning because it was 10U. So they only play 6 innings, but they played, came all the way back and then won the game 11-10. That was our most viewed game from the tournament, not even the championship game. That was held 2 days later because it got washed out. The semifinal game got washed out, so the 2 teams that would have made it decided to play a game instead at an alternate location in Berlin. That was a very interesting tournament, all in all. in the dirt. That's going to be ball 4, and that drives home a run. Mid-Atlantic with their first run in a while. It's going to be 15-3 as they now make it a 12-run game. And now Nate Colazzo is going to come out here because that's going to be 2 mound visits in a row. We're going to have a pitching change for Clutch Baseball. They lead by 12 in the top of the 4th. We'll be right back. New pitcher for the Clutch Baseball Club of NJ. Number 14, Courtney Holland, had a 2-run double to kick off the scoring. Now gets it in relief in the top of the 4th inning. 15-3, first pitch. There's a strike, 0-1 to Ben Dugan, Big Ben. He walked his first time. Inside, 1-1. But yeah, a lot of the times, you know, you have these games that, in retrospect, don't look that great, but going into it, look like marquee matchups. As Dugan's going to pop this one up in the shallow right, that's going to drop for a base hit past Colazzo. Run's going to score. It's going to be Cass. Everybody's going to move up 90 feet, and that's going to make it 15-4 on the RBI single by Dugan. So the bottom of the order getting some production here. And for those counting at home, we're right around 134, so they just have just under a half hour to get 11 runs home, which with the bases loaded and 1 out is not impossible. It's an infield fly. The batter is out. But hold on, we've got a backup on the bases. Oh my God, the runner's coming home. He's going to be out. And I guess the game is over. So what a way to end it, because they couldn't get that 10th run home so that they would be able to continue the game for another inning. So the final in 4 on that incredible play is going to be 15-4, Clutch Baseball over Mid-Atlantic, and they will be the champions of this FrightFight tournament, maybe in the most anticlimactic way you could imagine. But that's how it's going to end. Pachuta is going to have a 5-2, 3-6-2 out. And that is going to end this tournament. Stay tuned for the tournament-winning presentation ceremony and then our post-game show presented by Garden State Pet Center. We'll be right back here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. The final score, 15-4, Clutch Baseball over Mid-Atlantic. We'll be right back. We're on YouTube. Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We've got a grand total of 4 people watching right now. Probably some of your parents. Booth right here.
What station is this?
This is Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. I do a whole bunch of stuff all over South Jersey.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll first talk about the event of the game and what we've got going on right now with a 15-4 win. We'll start with you, Coach, and then we'll get to Jazeel Aponte, our player of the tournament here for the Mid-Atlantic FrightFight. You guys did excellent out there, playing back-to-back games, 1-8-7 the first time, 15-4 the second time. How'd you guys feel out there?
We got a good ball club. We feel that anytime we get decent pitching, we can win. We can put the ball in play. We can play defense, and again, if we can get some some pitching, we can win.
And from where you guys played, it's not like you guys played a game at 8 a.m. and then played a game at 5. You guys had 30 minutes or less between those two games. I thought it would have taken a while for you guys to get adjusted, but how did you guys stick through it with such short time in between games just to keep right in the rhythm between those two?
That's a key, between games to keep the guys focused, and that's my what I preach to them. Don't get distracted, stay focused, and we managed to do that today. We managed to, between the short time, like you said, the 30 minutes, we managed to stay focused and ready to go.
Well, that's always a good thing, and you guys just dominated out there. A 10-run first inning and then piled on some more, and of course that game-ending play, the infield fly that turned into a play that didn't even fit on my scorecard. But it was, it was a great game back and forth between you guys, and even though you guys ran away with it at the end and still won, a win's a win. And no matter how you get it, even if it was in a bit of a weirder fashion like it was in the first game or just outright domination in the second game, you guys knew how to play a good one. But I was hearing in in the post-game speech that you guys still have a playoff game left, so you guys are not done.
No, yeah, we're actually in the TSC league, so we got a playoff game, actually a championship game, which we'll be probably play on Wednesday.
Well, that's good to hear, but from what you guys have a couple of days left until that championship game for the TSC League, and now that this tournament's done, what's next for you and your ball club?
We would take 2 months off. We'll take 2 months off, let the kids relax, let them allow their bodies to heal, because it's been a long summer.
It's been a long one,
summer.
yeah.
So we'll give them 2 months, and then we'll get right back at it in January.
Well, yeah, that's always a good thing. And, of course, let me kind of rephrase what I was saying there. What do you think the mindset between today and Wednesday, what do you think the game plan, what do you think the mindset's going to be for you and your team going forward?
Nothing. We just our style of baseball to play good defense and good pitching, and we'll try to do that. And, again, if we can get some good pitching, we can play some defense. So, that's the way that we'll approach it.
And we'll move it over, thank you, Coach, to our player of the tournament, Jazeel Aponte. Just a wonderful performance all around. You guys did excellent out there as a team. 15 runs on just 9 hits, which sounds crazy to say, but the way you guys played was excellent. How did you specifically feel out there today?
I felt great. It was a good game, great players, good momentum. You have to stay focused. I have to stay focused. It's 2 games back-to-back. Not that much time. You have to get focus, don't fool around, nothing. You have to stay focused on the game.
Yeah, and as I was telling him, it's not like you guys played a game at 8 a.m. and then, came down at 5 p.m. It's not like you had time for anything. You guys treated it like a traditional doubleheader. You guys just stayed locked in, and that's how you guys worked it out. But that 10-run first inning, you guys got off to a great start. Batted 13 men in the order, starting off with Rivera and then ending off with Courtney Howard there. You guys batted around, scored 10 runs. I couldn't believe it. But the way you guys played is very aggressive on the offense, but also very patient as well. Some guys were swinging at the first pitch. Some guys were waiting, taking good, really good plate discipline and getting a lot of walks, as we saw. There were 11 walks total for you guys tonight. So the way that you guys approach things on offense, how did you guys feel after that first inning where you guys scored 10 runs, but you guys still didn't let off the gas pedal? What was that feeling like after that 10-run first?
It was a great feeling. You cannot feel like you got the whole game and you're back in the first inning, because you got a lot of games still going. You step on the plate, you cannot be patient. You have to be patient. You cannot be anxious. If you be anxious, you're going to get out a lot of times. You have to relax and stay there. Your perfect ball, your perfect hit, your perfect swing, everything. You have to be steady there.
And that's what we heard from your guys' staff where, hey, there's still a lot of game left. this could get out of hand. This could get more out of hand for us or more out of hand for them. And you guys stayed right in it, scored 5 more runs before the end of the night, and that's where it ended. But as you guys were saying, playoff game Wednesday, a tournament win for you guys, and you guys are really establishing yourselves as one of the top travel teams, especially for this age bracket in South Jersey. What is the confidence level for you guys going into Wednesday?
It's a great confidence level. Like, we need to get that win. It's such a TSC playoffs game. It means a lot to us. We need to come back and beat them. Like, we need to come back and get our W, like we always do. We need to stay up there.
Well, that's great to hear. Thank you, Coach, and thank you, Jazeel, for your time.
Thank you.
And that will do it for us here in Dan Wilkins broadcasting coverage of the Mid-Atlantic FrightFight Tournament. I'm flying solo here all day, been here since 10:30, but that's where we're going to wrap it up today. From everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Liam Nolan. I guess I'm the producer, so I don't have anybody to credit, but I'm Dan Wilkins. We will see you Wednesday for Audubon Green Wave Soccer in the NJSIAA South Jersey Group 1 playoffs. We'll see you next time. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and stay safe.